You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. The Winnipeg Jazz Orchestra celebrates this year's International Women's Day campaign theme, Embrace Equity, with an all-female lineup of players and a special nod to Winnipeg women composers and arrangers. To hear more about the show, I'm joined by conductor-curator Alexis Silver and player Jenny Taylor. Hello to you both.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on this International Women's Day. Alexis, this an initiative that builds on last year's inaugural Winnipeg Women's Jazz Orchestra and the WJO's commitment towards equity, diversity, and inclusion. Can you tell us more about the makeup of this year's group of musicians? How many players are there?
I think we're at 15 for this year, and we're similar last year. I think we had 16 players last year. It's a fairly regular sized big band. We've got 5 saxes this year, 3 trombones, 4 trumpets, though Heda is playing double duty, playing 4th trumpet and singing, and almost full rhythm section, no guitarist, but yeah, it's a great group of musicians, all Manitoba based women.
Well, absolutely fantastic. What's it like for you as the conductor to get up in front of the group and lead such an ensemble?
It's incredibly humbling because the players are phenomenal. But the great thing about jazz is they don't, I won't talk myself out of a job here, but they don't need me. I'm a set of ears out front for the rehearsal process and can throw a couple cues and make sure that the solo changes and give some cues as to where we're going to coda and stuff. But it's really fun for me to be on stage with this group because I get a front row seat to it. It's mostly in the organization of the planning the program and doing some program notes and communicating and coordinating with people. But I do share that with Jenny. So we get to work together. It's a phenomenal thing. This
yeah, and I think Alexis downplays her role because I think she is really necessary to what's going on and is doing a great job.
Well, Jenny, let me ask you this then. What's it like working with Alexis on this project and being part of this all-female lineup?
You know, I think it's just an amazing experience. I'm having such a great time. Alexis and I have been friends for close to 30 years now. So we've been working together for a really long time. And obviously I love it because I keep coming back.
Well, you've worked with Alexis before. Were you part of last year's initiative as well? Have you ever done something like this before?
I was, yeah. And as well as that, I also got the opportunity to go and play in an all-female big band in Calgary this year as well.
Well, can you talk more about that? Sounds real cool.
Yeah, they put together a really excellent concert featuring Ingrid and Christine Jensen, who are 2 of Canada's most famous female jazz players, and Christine as a composer as well. And so they got me to come in after having their director on our symposium last year with the Winnipeg Jazz Orchestra Women in Jazz Symposium. Their director, Kathy Van Laer, taught the brass at our symposium, and we met and got talking, and it just sounded like such an exciting thing. I said, keep me in the loop and hopefully I'll be able to make it out as a participant. Next thing you know, she's calling me and saying, do you want to play lead trumpet? So lucky me.
Yeah, lucky you. And what a fantastic opportunity, you know, to make music not only in Calgary, but here in Manitoba as well. And of course, raise awareness on the need for gender equity. We know that the music world has been one dominated by men. And though this is slowly changing, we still have a long way to go when it comes to, you know, representation and opportunity and programming and more. Can you talk more about that, Alexis, and how you've put together this program to not only highlight great players like those in the Winnipeg Women's Jazz Orchestra, but also great composers and arrangers whose music you'll be performing?
Yeah, sure. As Jenny was saying, in our Women in Jazz Symposium that we've had for the past 2 years, there's a great event or session called Jazz Giants, and Jenny and Shannon this year did an amazing job with that. But what we like to say is women have always been in jazz, but historically left out of the history books. So we just sort of want to shine a light on celebrating women through this, without suggesting that women should be siloed. Like, there's nothing wrong with just having gender equity in all bands. Jenny plays in with the Winnipeg Jazz Orchestra proper all the time. But this is about celebrating women. So for the program, we're doing a couple of great standards that we did in our inaugural concert. You know, like we've got some Count Basie and some Duke Ellington in there. And then it was important that we look at some of the amazing female composers that are dominating the lead sheets right now. So we've got Patty Darling, Michelle Gregoire, a Winnipeg originally from Winnipeg, but I think now, is she in Calgary now, Jenny?
She is in Calgary, yeah.
Yeah. We got the amazing Maria Schneider. And then we've got an Annette Cohen piece, but it was featured in Terry Lynn Carrington's New Standards, the new project that Terry Lynn Carrington has put together, the 101 lead sheets for women composers. And a friend of the WWGO did a big band arrangement of a tune called Ima. And then we also have a couple of arrangements and original compositions. Tetiana Haraschuk, who's now in Poland right now, taking care of some family and doing some interviews for some of her family and some Ukrainian refugees. She wrote 2 tunes inspired by what's been happening in Ukraine. Karen Carlson, our lead trombonist, wrote a tune called Chicks in D. It is the most charming thing you are ever going to hear. It's a sparrow teaching a chickadee how to swing, and you get the Hinterlands Who's Who theme, plus these great bird call, but all in a big band chart. And then some hack named Alexis Silver did a big band arrangement of Nina Simone's Little Girl Blue. So yeah, it's great to play a lot of women composers.
Yeah, you keep underselling yourself here, Alexis. Hack hardly. It's a wonderful program that you've put together, working alongside Jenny. Now, Jenny, let me ask you, as a trumpet player, do you get to jump in the spotlight at all? Any favorite tunes that you want to give a shout out to?
You know, I do get to play a little a line in Walkin' and Swingin', which is an arrangement by Mary Lou Williams. And it's actually a saxophone solo that includes the trumpet line on top of it. So I get to do that one. And then I'm playing lead trumpet, so I get to play lots of high notes. Hopefully. Knock on wood.
Yeah. So then, obviously there are going to be some favorites in there, and you are, of course, going to be in the spotlight, on lead horn. But are there any new tunes to you, ones that you're excited about that have sort of become favorites in working through this, preparing for the show?
Yeah, and definitely, I'm probably one of the biggest Maria Schneider fans going. So getting to play Greenpeace by Maria Schneider will be a highlight for me, I'm sure. And then, like Alexis said, a lot of this music is newly written for this show. So it's always fun to learn new things and tunes that I wasn't familiar with before. So I like doing that.
Exactly that. And it certainly sounds like it is going to be a great program titled Women's Day. It's taking place tomorrow, not today, Thursday, March 9th at 7:30 p.m., the West End Cultural Center. That's 586 Ellis Avenue. Alexis, Jenny, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you
so much for having us.